yet another game. This is the series Climbing the Rating Ladder, and this time I'm doing it in a amateur's chess club. Let's go and go crazy. Play e5, I guess. Ooh, this 1-1-1 guy isn't very nice, but there are always those people that will be negative, always. Try to drag you down. Knight f6. This is a playable line by my opponent. d5 is the main move, but he plays pawn takes c3, which isn't considered to be the most accurate move. It's not easy for him to prove compensation for the pawn here. And here I have some very nice squares, some light squares, because a lot of his pawns are on dark squares as well as his bishop. So the light squares aren't very well protected by him. Let's go for b6. Queen d3 next. Maybe the queen looks really good on d3. Next I maybe want to play bishop f5 to protect the pawn on e4. He gets rook e3, I guess. I guess I'll have to give up the pawn on e4, but I'm still up a material. Or am I? Yeah, I think I would still be up material. Okay, I guess I will take back with the pawn if he takes on d3. Yeah, maybe I need to play a bit faster. I just noticed my time situation isn't very great. I'll play bishop g6. Next I maybe want to take the pawn on c4. Sure. Looks like a free pawn to me. Rook c1, queen b5 maybe. To keep the knight on c6 protected. If rook takes e4, I have f5. I can't take the rook right away because then he will have mate with queen takes g7. But fortunately I have f5. Guess I'll throw in the move knight e5. And now I get a nice fork with knight d3, a fork on the rooks and the bishop as well. Let's see what he chooses to give up. Chooses to start by giving up a pawn. Okay, fair enough. What does he give up next? Yeah, it's not easy to play fast on a laptop. Maybe I shouldn't berserk anymore. Because it takes 2 seconds to make a move on the laptop. It's quite annoying in time scrambles, to be honest. Because I really stand no chance in them. Which is a kind of sad thing to think of. But you stand no chance. Do I continue fighting? Yeah, hopefully there should be some kind of mate. There definitely was a mate though, with rook h4, king g3, queen e1 and then bishop h5 mate. But I think I still have it now. Same idea. Take like this maybe. Yeah, I'm very low on time. I think I'm going to lose this on time, sadly. I'll throw in a check, maybe get my king more active. Maybe take a hanging pawn. Then he has to give up some more material. I think he will give up the bishop. No, the knight, okay. Guess I go back here. Why not? Then I maybe try and push the pawns. Wow, I played that really slowly, but let's go back to the tournament, guys. Or 3 people watching. That's not bad. Couple of people. Yep. Berserk yet again. And just try and play a bit faster. It reminds me of something Arnold Schwarzenegger said for some reason. He said to all the people who need 8 hours of sleep, just sleep a little faster. I don't know why that reminded me of that, but it did. I guess maybe the lesson is that you can hurry if you try. Yeah, this isn't a very good move because I'm able to attack his pawn chain quite quickly. Okay, this move loses a pawn by force, which I will definitely take without hesitating. So, pawns are to be taken. I mean, what do you think Yasser would do if he would see someone not taking a pawn which is hanging? I don't know, but I don't want to find out either. Suddenly he appears on the stream and beats me up. Yeah, but okay. Now I'm winning an exchange. That's nice. In exchange for nothing. Pun intended. He takes with a bishop, and I think I have to retreat to c4, and I guess he gets a pawn. But he takes with the rook instead, not winning a pawn. That's nice. Queen a5 is the move I want to make next. Maybe queen b4 or something next. Actually, just rook fb8, getting the final piece into the game. Maybe rook fc8 if he threatens the pawn on c6. Okay, it's usually in your favor to exchange pieces when you're up material. Even though I of course should have played knight a3 instead of rook fb8. It would have won me even more material. I'll go queen a3, I guess, with the idea of rook b2. See what the chat are saying. Okay, I'll get the other rook active and on the open b file. Maybe I want to play queen b3 next to trade off some pieces. I don't know, maybe. It's definitely an idea. Guess I will throw in the move c5. Though it could be slightly weakening. Queen b4 perhaps. His pieces are placed in a very shaky way. Okay, I'm taking the free knight. I'm taking the free exchange as well. What is even better than a pawn is free minor pieces or free exchanges. I love them, I take them all the time. They're so nice. Oh, 5 people watching. That's not so bad because I just began this channel like 2 days ago. So that's solid, soon it'll be 5 million, wow. My opponent is real generous, giving me everything. Sometimes you get to play nice guys. Some people are nice, I guess it's part of their personality. Isn't it supposed to be written that I'm streaming? Yeah, it should be, but it isn't for some strange reason. Yeah, that's strange. Alright, let's see how the guys are doing. And let's go back to the tournament and play another game. Well, let's go. Actually, berserk even against this guy with a slightly higher rating. Let's go for the e4 pawn break. Now I have slightly more space in the center than my opponent does. So that's a good thing. Next, let's play rook d1. Yeah, now it becomes incredibly symmetrical, but I have a couple of temp pieces more. Okay, I guess if he wants to, he can give up the bishop there. I don't mind. Maybe h4 next is a reasonable looking move with the idea of h5 perhaps. I guess I want to exchange rooks because usually when you have the bishop pair it's good not to exchange rooks. Because the bishop pair usually work well with the rooks. I guess I'll throw in the move h5 because now he's really given up some light squares. Like my bishop on f5 will be quite nice. The square on f5 is incredibly weak for my opponent. I guess queen c4 is a move I want to make in the near future, with the idea of rook d1. Queen d3 is maybe possible. What will I do then? I guess queen b3 is an okay idea. Queen takes e4. Actually, I'm not so certain. b6 isn't a very good move, I think, because now our opponent a6 was maybe hanging as well. Okay, let's try and put pressure on some of his pawns. I don't know if f4 is a move I want to make. Okay, I'm just going to take the pawn. Why not? Okay, he tries to protect it, but his king becomes very open. f4 I'm not sure is a good move, to be honest, because now my king also becomes a little open. So probably f4 isn't the best move to play. But it's very ambitious and aggressive, so I guess that's why I did it. Though maybe f4 isn't too bad of an idea. Okay, now I have e5 ideas for sure. Let's go queen c4 at the moment. Now I really want to play e5 next. For some strange reason my opponent allows this move. If bishop takes e5, I will play the in-between move queen e4 and only then take on e5. That should be quite good for me. Okay, let me take here. Then I have... Oh wow, he goes for this. This is not a very logical decision if you ask me. Gives up another pawn. This opponent is a very generous one, just like the last one. Giving up everything, only to please me. I just need to not get flagged, because then I am being a bit too generous back, I think. Then I'm being a bit too kind. It's okay to be a little bit kind, but there needs to be some limit. Can pre-move queen takes e3. In case he takes, which I doubt, but or else I'm going rook g2. So I give a check down here. Maybe I check in here. Let's continue with the checks, guys, and then I guess I can take in here. Let's get another queen. And that's mate, guys. Alright, let's return to the tournament. See what I get next. I'm curious who I get. Maybe I could make a brief analysis of the games afterward. Ooh, nice, it's written that I'm streaming. Nice, nice. I'll share a link just in case if some people from this tournament are interested. I'll go for the Nimzo with knight e2, I guess. This is a very solid Nimzo. Maybe I'll push d5, though I'm not so sure about the move d5, to be honest. Maybe I just should have gone for knight e2, which was my instinct. Next I want to play a3. And then try and take here. He allows it, which surprises me. Okay, I'll go for bishop g2 castles next. Then maybe e4, followed by bishop e3. Or maybe bishop f4, depending on the situation. Yeah, this move by my opponent wasn't too stupid. I thought his idea was to go knight d3, so that he gets the bishop pair back. Sorry, so that I don't have the bishop pair anymore. But I guess he didn't. Now his knight just gets trapped. Maybe it doesn't get trapped. Oh wow. Need to be a bit careful here, because actually, oh no, he has the c2 flight square. I missed that actually. I have some compensation, of course, but now I'm not better anymore, which is a bit unfortunate. Next, I guess I want to play rook e1, followed by e5. That's one idea. Maybe I'll play bishop e3, I guess. The rook is clearly better on e1 than on b1, so that'll probably be my next move. Though honestly, I could also play rook d1 as well. Yeah, a bit unfortunate that I blundered an exchange, but what can you do? Playing perfect chess is impossible. The queen d3 is what I want to play next, guys. Hello, Metal Eagle. Hello. Play bishop. It's not the move I want to make. He'll take and play knight e4 followed by h3, maybe kicking his pieces out a little. Though I'm starting to get a bit low on time, unfortunately, which I guess is what happens when you berserk. I want to play knight e6 next. I don't see what he can do to prevent my idea. Oh. But okay, it gets sharp here, so that's, I guess, in my favor. Suddenly a couple of pieces are hanging. This will go down with the king. Should definitely take on d5, and then I don't know what to do. I guess I'll go for queen e2. Maybe queen g4 next. Yeah, maybe I can't berserk and expect to win every single game. Okay, with the idea of queen e6. Threatening mate in 1. Please don't notice. What? He could just take my queen. Oh wow. Oh wow. I missed that. Yikes. Right, let's go back to the tournament after that sad defeat. Let's see who I get. Let's see who I get. I wonder, I really do. Maybe I won't berserk in the next game, seeing how badly it went. Though who knows, maybe I might as well. Well, I got the next game. Actually, why not? Well, let's go for the Dutch. It's a fun opening to play. I've watched a very short introduction to it on Chessable by Simon Williams. I mean, it's his specialty, so I kind of trust the guy. I don't know, I think I should have played c6 before playing e5, but I don't think it really matters. Bishop e6 next, maybe, and then knight d7. Looks like a possible way to develop the pieces. Want to play knight d7 next, okay, bishop f7. I don't see why pushing d5 is too strong by him. I guess I'll push e4. Why not? After knight d7 he can maybe take on e5 and the pawn on f5 would be hanging in the end. Unfortunately. Right, let's get this knight into the game. Maybe I want to play knight c5, knight d3 next. Yeah, that seems like a reasonable idea to me. Seems like a way to improve my position. Thank you, Metal Eagle. Yeah, I figured that Maybe I should do a combination of Twitch and YouTube, instead of just focusing on one of them. D6, I guess. I feel as if his pawns might get a bit loose now, but I don't know how to prove my belief yet. So go Queen B6. Maybe I want to play Knight G4 at some point, I don't know. Probably I would like to do it though. Okay, I guess I have to trade off queens. Usually in the Dutch you don't want to, but here I don't really think it's a position with a lot of attacking possibilities, so I don't think it matters here if I trade the queens or not. H3 is indeed an accurate move by him, pushing my knight back. I really want to play bishop f6. Then maybe I could take on d5 next actually. I guess I'll give up the bishop here in order to get a pawn. Though I might get a bit weak on the light squares now. Only time will tell if I will regret my decision. Ah, come on. I don't really have time to mouse slip like this. Yeah, I don't know if a5 is a good move. Ah, he gives up the bishop here. Interesting. I don't think it was a good decision by my opponent, to be honest. I'll play knight d5. Maybe put some pressure on this pawn, though I allowed counterplay with knight e6. Yeah, I shouldn't have allowed that. Okay, I'll play rook e8 to prevent knight e6. Maybe I can play knight f7 next, with the idea that after knight takes f5 I can take on f4. Yeah, looks like an okay thing to play. Yeah, very low on time, sadly. I guess I will not berserk in this tournament anymore, if I also lose this game due to time as well. Then I think I would have learned my lesson. Oh, some tricks, some tricks. It's getting real tricky. Knight d6 is the idea next, with the idea of knight c4. I should have thrown in a check. Oh no, I blundered mate in one, that was terrible. Oh my gosh. That was not nice. Oh my. Yeah, I guess I shouldn't berserk anymore, it's too much for me. Playing on a laptop when it takes... I don't have a mouse, I have a touch mouse. So it takes 2 seconds to make a move unless I pre-move. Oh, I didn't notice my opponent played e5, I thought he played e6. Oh wow. Yeah, this is some kind of interesting variation I've never seen before. e3. Play rook c1. Though I think, to be honest, the position is pretty equal anyways. Though maybe he could have tried to get an initiative after the move d4. Maybe he has d4 now. No, then I'd just take, I guess. And yeah, some kind of dryish position. Very dry position. Not interesting at all. Oh wow, there was a pawn hanging. Oh wow. That's not nice. I don't like when my pawns are taken. I like taking pawns, but when my pawns are taken I get angry. Not really, to be honest. It's usually good during a game to control your emotions. Play knight d4. Okay, I'm trying to create some compensation. It's not easy, but I'm trying. Threatening a pawn back on b7. I have ideas of rook e2 at some point, maybe. Let's do it. He needs to play queen f4, I think. Then I play g3. Ah, yeah, I guess he also has this square for the queen. What can I do in this position? Yeah, the pawn on c4 is quite weak because the b pawn disappeared, so that's a bit unfortunate. It's not very easy to defend this pawn conveniently. I guess I'll take and then play queen e2 in the end. Though he has knight d6, oh wow, I'm a lot worse. Okay, now I'm at least not losing a pawn after the move knight f6, even though I'm still a pawn down, but not 2 pawns down at least. 2 is better than 1, or worse than 1 in this case. I'll throw in c5, hopefully the pawn on b7 will become weak at some point. I guess I'll play g3, king g2, I've heard this is an improvement to every position. It does kind of weaken the light squares around my king, but I don't believe it's that important. Maybe I want to play queen b4 next, I don't know. I guess I will. Claim that the pawn on b7 might get a little weak. Even though, yeah, queen and a knight are usually better together than a queen and a bishop. But I don't know how much better. This is not easy to answer. King g2 should be an improvement to my position. Yeah, he also creates some space for his king with move h6. So we'll go queen b4. He's willing to repeat moves. I'll try to win. Even though I'm a pawn down. Yeah, gotta be ambitious. Try to win every single game. Play it for a win. That's actually how you gain a lot of experience. I will make an interesting decision. I will actually take. And then claim that he has a lot of pawns on light squares that are potential weaknesses. I'll try to activate my king. So I definitely have a lot of compensation for the material deficit. I already have ideas of bishop g4, which my opponent seems to allow. Later I want to take the pawn on e6 and then go bishop c8. If, yeah, now I'm winning the pawn back and I am suddenly better. Alright, that's a pawn. Pawns are to be taken. Ah, okay, he's threatening knight f3. Then he will trade down and go to a winning endgame, so I need to be a bit careful with the move I make. Nah, this is also a bad move, wow. I guess king f5 is a good move, because now he doesn't have knight f3 check. Though he still has knight f3 to be honest, threatening knight d4. As well as... Oh wow, I missed this move. We'll go king e4. Oh no, I should have gone king f4 instead. I just blundered the game away. Oh wow. I guess the f pawn is my only hope now. And maybe flagging the opponent is an idea as well. You gotta do everything to win. Gotta do all it takes. Yeah, my opponent has begun by misplacing his knight, so that's at least a good start. Yeah, difficult to prove on lichess. Let's go back to the tournament. I'm just playing on chess.com. Though I shouldn't be making excuses. Don't learn from me, guys. I shouldn't have berserked so much. But you know, lesson learned. You sometimes have to make mistakes to learn the lesson afterward. Right, playing some kind of Yakata guy. Okay. Ooh, my opponent is also streaming. Nice. I guess I will go for the Carlsbad. Maybe you call that opening Carlsbad as black, I don't know. The b6 is not a common move, and it's that for a logical reason. The bishop will be very passive on b7, and especially because I'm able to win a pawn, my opponent didn't really play the best moves. This will go for bishop f5. It's tempting to actually castle queenside now, because my opponent has lost a pawn next to his king, so his king is quite exposed. So I should be able to use that fact in a way or another. I'll go knight f3, maybe start pushing my h-pawn, see what that'll do. Maybe I had to move knight g5 instead of what I played. That could have been better. Knight f4 is a very strong idea next, I think. Yeah, I won't bother taking his pawn. Knight f4 with the idea of knight g6 looks very powerful. We have to be careful so he doesn't do nasty stuff on the c-file. I want to play king d2, but I don't know if it's possible. Let's take a risk. Let's take a little gamble. Never hurts to gamble a little, right? Just a little. With queen a5 I will have to go knight c3 anyways, but I don't see the problem with king d2 either. Okay, bishop e7 with the idea of... Interesting idea. I guess I'll go for knight f4 with my idea of knight to g6. King e2, queen c4, then I have bishop d3. Yeah, knight g6 seems to win material. It was my idea all along. Okay, I play bishop d3 and I ask him what he has achieved, because I don't see what my opponent achieved. I really don't. I guess I should have berserked against this guy. Right, let's go back to the tournament, guys. See who I get. See who I get. Yeah. I realize my opponent berserks for... Okay, berserks I need to berserk too, or else I'm just chickening out. Bishop c5 isn't a common move in this position. I'll go bishop d3 maybe. Okay, now my opponent is simply a pawn down for no compensation. c3 is the passive way to play, but what can I do? Okay, my opponent blunders a piece, that's always nice. He gives away his queen. For it seems as if he only gets a minor piece back. Yeah, that's good. Whoa, he gives another minor piece away, nice. And he resigns. Let's go back to the tournament, guys. Yeah, Medal Eagle. I know it's very tempting to go berserk, but yeah, I shouldn't have done it so often, because I'll actually quickly put the light on so that my face will be more visible. Alright guys, I got a new opponent. Mark a pick or something. I'll go for e5 this game. Ooh, the King's Gambit is always gets spicy. Let's see what he has in mind. I'm going to pretend that I remember how theory goes here. I think it was queen f6. But What my opponent plays is losing objectively, but it's not so easy to... I need to remember all the correct moves in order to prove it, which isn't an easy task to do. I guess I'll go for d6, the ideal bishop e6, fighting against his strong bishop on c4. I can take on e5. Perhaps I don't... I'll actually go quite passively with queen d... No, I don't really want to do that, to be honest. What to do? Guess I'll actually take the pawn. I don't see the problem. If he takes on b7, I was intending to take on c4. And then play queen b6 or something, claiming that his queen is a bit misplaced. Also, now I pin his pawn so he can't take on e5 either. I guess I'll go for bishop g7. I'm not sure which move was better, bishop g7 or... now I need to be really careful not to lose material. Bishop d5 seems to work out for me, actually. Well, to some degree, because he can later take on c7. And then he gets like a lot of... I takes here instead. This I don't think was equally good. Because I get to take on b2 and then I win some material. This has to be good for me. Because I'm simply up a little bit of material. I'll go for knight f4, threatening mate. It's not so easy for him to defend against the mate on g2. So I wonder how he will do that. I don't see how he can, to be honest. Yeah, I don't think my opponent can defend against queen takes g2. Perhaps he should resign. Okay, he's going into the thinking tank without making any moves. Interesting, but I really don't see any defense whatsoever to queen takes g2. Okay, he resigns. Let's go back to the tournament, guys. Though I understand him for taking some time to see if he has any resources left to fight. Not today. I like that name. Yeah, what to do? I guess I'll go for bishop f5. Develop the pieces like this. Okay, c4, fair enough. Maybe I'll play c6 next, or c5 is also interesting. And this is a possible setup, it's a bit passive, but h6 to give this bishop a fly square on h7 after knight h4. I guess I'll go rook c8. a6, b5 is an idea, taking some space. Yeah, I think his bishop is a bit misplaced on e2. Usually you put your bishop on g2 instead. I'll go for b5, I guess. Though it's a very serious decision. I'll play queen b6, threatening a pawn on e3. And it's not very convenient for him to defend it. I'll actually go quite provocatively with bishop c5, forcing him to play d4. Okay, he closes down the bishop like this. This is a very interesting decision by my opponent. I guess I want to play knight e4 next. It's my idea for sure. And my opponent allows it. Oh wow, now I think my opponent is simply losing. I don't see any defense against his queen and knight and his knight. Yeah, like let's say queen c1, knight takes c3 and I'm just up knight. He can play a3 but he doesn't get nearly enough material. Okay, this was perhaps the best try. I guess I'll play knight e4 in exchange of some minor pieces. A queen c7, I guess I have to be careful not to play queen a4 because then my opponent would have the nasty move bishop d1 trapping my queen. Okay, it's actually not so obvious how to win this even though I am up a lot of material. Guess I'll throw in the move f6. My idea was in fact to take on e5 and then on f4 and then open a block for my pieces. Now it should be a bit easier to win, I think. Yeah, queen h4 next. Now it should be possible to win. Now it should be possible to win, yeah? Interesting. Which move to make? I guess I'll play queen g5 with the idea of taking on f5. Okay. I missed this idea, but I fortunately have queen f6 threatening his pawn, but after bishop b2 it's not that clear what I do. I'll actually go here. Then back here. Maybe this wasn't a good idea at all. Yeah, this was not a good idea. Yikes. I gave him bishop f4. This I don't think is as good. So go for queen c3 next. Threatening the pawn on d4 as well as the rook. But king h2 was definitely a much better move for my opponent. For sure. I guess I'll take the pawn, as it's being offered so generously, and then take another pawn. I'll take everything I can. I guess I'll go for queen c3, threatening his pawn. Trying to take another pawn. So I'll go rook d8. The idea of maybe pushing the d pawn. Rook f6 seems reasonable. If bishop e7, I'll just say fine. Rook takes g6, I win the exchange, and it's good enough for me. Queen b2 next. Rook g1. And I will probably take another pawn, as greedy as I am. And it's a good thing, because I also exchange a lot of pieces, so now my opponent is left without any counterplay whatsoever. And he could honestly resign without fearing anything. He has been able to block my f-pawn, but fortunately I have another passed pawn which will run up the board, because it's not really possible to block two pawns at once with the rook and the bishop against the queen. Give a check. Then I will push my pawn. I guess I'll play queen here, why not? Take on d1. Take on f3 afterwards. Okay, I'll be really greedy and capture every pawn. There is just something so satisfying about taking your opponent's pawns. Ooh, 6 people watching, nice, nice. It's not too bad considering I began streaming 2 days ago on Twitch. If you haven't already, check out my YouTube channel. It's called Improve Your Chess Now. Counter Revolution Next is the name of my opponent. Yeah, I think that was my sister or something. I'll go knight e7. This is a very fun system for sure. And it must be kind of sound, at least, because Alexei Dreyev has even written a book on this system. So maybe I'll throw in a6. I guess the idea is to play f5, but I have to be a bit careful. Maybe he will then have bishop b3, knight g5, so I play h6. So that I am now able to play f5. I guess I'll take with a bishop on f5 if he does. If he doesn't take on f5, then I will push f4 and try and mate my opponent. And just push the pawns on the king side. I guess I'll go for bishop g4, putting some pressure on this knight. I guess I will give up the bishop pair, but my opponent in returns gets a very bad structure. Now I have ideas of knight d5, knight f4, trying to use some of the weak squares created by him having two f-pawns. I guess I'll go for knight f4 and then take with a rook on f4 if he takes. I wonder if I want to push h5 next. Maybe something like queen g5 could make sense. Yeah, I like to move queen g5 because now my opponent can't take on f4. And next I want to get my rook into the game with rook a8. And it seems as if I'm able to conduct a pretty strong attack. Okay, rook a, bishop c2. This looks like a sensible move because this bishop points in the diagonal towards my king. I'll push h5 with the idea of h4 at some point maybe. I guess I'll play bishop h6. It would be a dream to get my bishop on f4, so that's what I'll try to do. I guess I will play queen f5 with the idea of rook h4. Though I guess this queen is a bit misplaced here, because after d4, yeah, diagonal gets open, but I don't see how my opponent could defend. Because after both the checks knight g5 and knight f6, I simply take the knight with a queen. Okay, defense like this, but this is very desperate. Okay. Yeah, this seems like the best move, to simply take on e3. I don't see what my opponent could do in this position. Taking on g6, I could always play king g7 if I want. Or king h8 maybe. But I could probably also just simply take the bishop. I would be very surprised if I can't. I guess he gets queen d3 ID, so maybe I don't want to. I guess I'll just play king h8. And just say that my opponent has no ways to defend against my threats. I'm threatening so many things at once. I'm threatening queen takes g3, bishop takes f2 checkmate, queen h2 followed by queen takes f2 and rook takes f2. It's not really possible to stop all of this at once. Let's see how I will check. I guess queen h2 is a mate in one, so let's do that and get our next game, guys. Let's see who I'm going to play now. Oh, I'm not only streamer, we also have the real key d2. Nice, nice. Oh, I like this name, Undercover Yogi. Let's see how many points the guys that are leading have. Actually not so many, only twice as much as me. Considering the fact that I joined really late, isn't too impressive by them. Oh, c5, okay, this isn't the best move for sure. I wonder if he will take on c... Oh, he just gives up a pawn like this? I've never seen this opening before, so it must be bad. I guess I'll play e4 next. I can pre-move taking on b5, though I don't think my opponent will do it. Okay, knight c3, everything seems to be defended very well. I'll play bishop d2, I guess, so that my opponent won't have knight takes e4. Knight f3, getting another piece out. Maybe I want to play e5 next, I wonder. Yeah, my opponent doesn't allow that option. Knight e7, I guess I will castle. And it's tempting to move my knight, then see what to do. Actually, I think I'm going to play knight b5. It doesn't look too stupid at all, with the idea of a4. Oh, but maybe a pawn will be hanging on d3, I didn't notice that. I guess I'll have to play bishop d3 to defend the pawn on e4. But next I definitely want to play something like a4, a5. Okay, my opponent gives up the bishop pair. So I guess my opponent's idea is that he gets some play here. I don't know if I agree with him, because I have ideas of knight d4 with the idea of knight c6, and that looks pretty irritating. I guess I'll play queen c2, threatening his knight and defending the bishop. Okay, I was also thinking about rook c1, but then I didn't know what to do after bishop takes b2, so I guess queen c2 also defends the pawn on b2. Okay, my opponent goes for f5. This is incredibly weakening. It really weakens the light square on e6, so I'm going to try to use that somehow. Let's see how to use it. I guess I'll go for knight d4 with the idea of knight e6 and knight c6 at the same time. So I think my opponent is almost forced to take on d4. He might be winning a pawn actually with rook takes b5, but now his position has so many weaknesses, I don't really think it matters a lot. I guess I'll go for f3, pushing his active knight back. Let's see where his knight will go. Maybe after the move knight ef6 I will play queen e2. And with the idea of taking on e7 at some point. Wow, this is a very creative solution by my opponent. Maybe it's not such a bad move as I thought. Yeah, this could be an okay move. Oh wow, it's not so stupid. What to play against this move, to be honest? I missed this idea. I guess I'll go for rook here. It's not something I want to do. Because I give up the pawn on d5, I get a pawn on a7 in return, but it's not so strong. I guess I'll go for queen c6. I think it's in my favor if he takes the queen. Because then I will have a very strong passed c-pawn. I guess maybe a4 is the move I want to play next. Though maybe not too. I guess I'll go for b3. My opponent has a very good time situation. Oh wow, I just missed that was hanging. That's crazy. How come I missed something this primitive? Oh wow. Unbelievable, I just hung a pawn like that. Oh no, and I blundered this tactic as well. Oh no. Oh my. I can resign, I'm too much material down. What a devastating blow, guys. What a devastating blow. I think actually I've lost trading this tournament for the first time. That's incredible. Maybe Agadmatri is such a good YouTuber that he makes everyone who plays the tournament better. Maybe, I don't know. My opponent berserks, I guess, in favor. I think knight e4 is the way to play here. I'll go for rook b1 with the idea of b4, b5, the minority attack. Let's go for the idea. I guess I'll play rook fc1 before I execute the idea. Maybe I want to move my queen out of the c file because his rook is there. Though I don't know how important it is. I guess I'll play knight d2. Then I want to play b5 next. I guess I'll go for it. I think my opponent should play c5 in this position. I think c5 here as well is the correct solution. Okay, I'll play knight e2. Maybe I'll take on g6 next. Yeah, sure. And suddenly my opponent just gave me a free pawn. That's always nice. I mean, it never hurts to get a free pawn. A little donation from the opponent. Thank you. Oh. And this is even more material. I guess I will gladly take it. Maybe rook b6 with the idea of taking the pawn on c6. Oh wow. I gave my opponent some counterplay. That was a bit unnecessary by me. I guess I'll take with rook. Maybe I'll play rook here. Now this is scary. My king gets a bit too active. Wow, what a bad move. And suddenly my opponent has a lot of material. Now this is hanging as well. Oh wow. I don't see my opponent's idea. His idea is to flag me. Which will be very easy because I have a touchpad. Yeah. It sometimes gets you that you have a touchpad. Maybe I should get a mouse. Wow. It would be nice if someone could donate a bit to me so I could actually get a real mouse and stop losing games on time. I would have berserked, but I think it's better to try to be emotionally stable. Because it's very tempting to berserk after losing a game. Because you really don't care anymore, but you have to try to not tip off balance. Still remain positive. This is something I think is very important and can make a big difference in how strong a player is. His ability to cope with unideal situations. I wonder which way my opponent will take. I think it's best to take with the e-pawn. Wow, now I think my opponent just gave me a pawn. I guess he made it two. He gave me 2 pawns instead of 1. Fair enough. So we'll go queen a5 because after bishop b4 I guess a3 is possible. Then my opponent might at least be getting the pawn on c3 back. Ah, yeah, I almost blundered that. Oh wow. Cheeky opponent. I was just about to take on c3. Would have been a devastating blunder. Fortunately I didn't. Yeah, I would have been so sad after that one. Glad I didn't fall for the temptation to take the pawn. I guess I'll just take here, why not? You know, when your opponent gives you a piece, you can take it, you can thank your opponent, but it's important to also accept the sacrifice. Still play knight f6. I wanted to play bishop d2, then he has queen d3. I'm not sure how much it matters. Okay, now I have bishop d2 though. When your opponent... I think this is very important in chess, that sometimes I've heard people have a fear. Oh no, I think my opponent has a trick if I take this pawn. I don't want to risk it. But gotta be brave. Gotta trust yourself. I mean, when I actually play... oh nice, Agadmater is watching this. That's so cool. Hey, Agadmater. I love your videos. They're very professional. It would be so cool if he's watching this stream right now. Okay, my opponent gives something away. Hey. Okay. In case someone is... Okay, and my opponent resigns. Nice, nice. I'll go back to the tournament, see who I get. Okay, some time goes by, and then... Who will I get, guys? What do you think the rating of my opponent will be? You can write it in the chat. I'll be... Yeah, there are only 12 minutes left in this tournament. That's not too much. Oh, I didn't expect my opponent to take on c4. Wow, this 1-1-1 guy is evil. But But I guess there will always be haters, there will always be evil people. It's not something we can change. So I see no reason to really lose too much happiness on him. I want to castle next, then get my bishop out. I wonder if I'll go bishop b3 after b5. I guess I will. After b4 I'm going to have to take on f6, I think. I might have played this slightly inaccurately. Okay, my opponent goes for c5 instead. Here I think I will take. Okay, maybe take with this pawn, push my e-pawn, then get knight e4 in, and I have a very strong initiative. For sure. I'll play knight d6, threatening bishop e7. Already I'm able to create threats. Also my opponent is now unable to play bishop b7, developing his pieces. I'll play rook c1. If she takes on e5, now I will recapture and then play bishop e7. And then I will get the exchange, even though my opponent will get a pawn. But it's clear that I'm better here with the exchange for the pawn. Thank you, Metal Eagle. That is so nice. Wait, my opponent has made a move. Hopefully he'll play bishop c5. Please, please man. I know you can do it. Play bishop c5. I believe in you. I didn't believe hard enough in my opponent. This will get my knight out of its awkward position, win the c-pawn and then queen a pawn, and that should be enough to win. Haha. I thought it would do something else there. Yeah. Now it doesn't really matter if he starts pushing his pawns anymore. I think this is mate. Yeah, let's go back to the tournament, guys. Yeah, Metal Eagle, that was some nice encouragement of you. Surely I'm quite accustomed to using chess.com, so I find it very funny. Next to your name if you've won a couple of games in a row. So slow. Yeah, it would be so nice if someone could donate, I don't know. How much does a real mouse cost? Maybe like $5. If someone could donate that, that'll be really nice. So take here and then play knight e4, maybe, I don't know. Maybe I want to play a5 at some point to try and weaken his structure, sure. Yeah, now he has a weak a-pawn. I didn't notice that he could take here. But then he gets counterplay with knight f5. So I need to be somewhat careful. I think king h8 is a good move. Though I guess now I have to be really careful. Throw in the move queen c7 maybe. I'm threatening on a3 with the rook now. The bishop f8. Just the mouse in general. I'm not very picky at all. I'll be very greedy and capture a pawn because I don't see what my opponent wants from me. I don't see the mating patterns. Okay, he wants to trade and I'll gladly trade off a few pieces. The pawn on b7 is hanging. That wasn't nice of me. Fortunately, my opponent didn't notice. Or else I could have been in a little bit of trouble. Yeah, you can give a check and give a pawn, but suddenly I'm the one who is attacking, which I think is quite important when you have very little time left. Yeah, Metal Eagle, just any kind of mouse would be good enough. I don't care if it costs $2, it's much better than a touchpad. It's been annoying me for quite a long time, but I don't know, it's quite strange how I haven't gotten a touchpad yet. I guess I want to play Queen f3 next. Also, a pawn is hanging on f2, so my opponent should probably play King g1. Then I'll throw in h4, I think. Okay, I'll gladly take this pawn. Not only am I taking a pawn, but I'm also weakening my opponent's king. I'll play rook g4 here with the idea rook takes g3. It looks even stronger. Okay, now this pawn endgame is simply winning. Oh! That was so cheeky by my opponent. I was just about to stalemate him. Nice that I didn't. Perilous pawn, okay. Actually, it's the last game. Why not have fun on berserk? Ah, it's too late. Oh well. I'll go for knight f3, I guess, in this game. Wait, I have a really fun line if he plays bishop a6. Ah, okay, he plays bishop a7. Which I actually studied today. Rook e1 is an interesting move here, trying to get to center rook e4. Next, I guess d5 is a possible move to play. Maybe knight h4 with the idea of knight f5, especially after the move h6, because you can't play g6 now, as the pawn will be hanging on h6. So now I've been able to install a knight on f5. Ah, yeah, that would be really nice, Metal Eagle, if I could become an affiliate. Yeah, I guess I'm trying to do so. I mean, I've heard that you need like 50 subscribers. I mean, it's 50 followers. I think it's possible, guys. I believe we can do it. If you all tell your friends, then I mean we'll get 50 followers in no time. Look at this very positional maneuvering of my queen. This has got to be some of the worst chess I've played in a long time. But it's good to not get discouraged. Okay, h5 is a very good move by me actually, so I'm going to have to be honest and give myself a compliment on that move. Okay, this is definitely a good move by him, because now he can sidestep with king g7. Though he still has quite a lot of weak light squares around his king, which I will try to attack. With the move queen e4 maybe, but then yeah, queen e4 now for sure. I thought if he would play knight a6 or something and throw queen e4, he would have bishop f5, defending the light squares a little. Ah, thank you so much, Metal Eagle. Yeah, I guess I will do that. Thank you so much for giving me permission to do so. It's really nice of you. You're a nice guy, Metal Eagle. I guess I threatened queen h8 followed by queen g7 checkmate. Seems like a pretty strong idea. I don't think I'll be able to get in one more game after this one, because there is simply no time left in the tournament. Yeah, my opponent doesn't really defend against my mating idea. Let's go back to the tournament. Now I have 2 minutes and I have good chances. Ah, thank you so much, Metal Eagle, for the support. Oh, I think I might be getting my next game. Ah, never mind. Here we go. I'll berserk. Oh, I missed that my opponent went for this. I wonder what kind of opening this is now. A very strange one for sure. I really want to play bishop c5 at some point, though I don't see how I could get that to work yet. Do I really want to make bishop c5 work? That would be such a nice trick to finish this game off. So queen c7, I guess, threaten his knight, then maybe go rook a d8. I guess I'll just take the pawn, why not? It's not exactly what I wanted, but I'm not going to complain while taking a pawn. Yeah, I don't think I played this that accurately. I kind of weakened my position a little now. Yeah, it seems as if I won't be able to finish this game. Yeah, I know, now I have knight c6 against the king's gambit is a crazy move to play for sure. But I guess that's what happens when you berserk. Yeah, I wonder if my opponent could mate me. Probably can, somehow. Maybe queen d5 in the next is the move I want to play. Come on, don't lag like this. Yeah, lag is a pretty annoying thing. Queen d4 next is maybe an idea. Okay, now I'm able to give a nice check. Ah, so sad that I will get flagged. Yeah, that's what happens when you don't have a touchpad. Right everyone, hope you enjoyed the stream.